So welcome. We're so glad that you're here. This is so beautiful. So we're going to start by settling in, arriving. So if you would just find a tall spine, we're going to just drop our eyes, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Feel your tall, straight spine like beads hanging from the sky. Let the breath deepen, noticing all the sounds around us. Now bringing our attention and our awareness to the heart center, that space, the energetic heart, the spiritual heart. Inhaling, we feel our breath come straight in through the heart, from the front of our body, out the back of our body. Exhaling, we feel the breath come through the back of our body, completely through the front of our body, as if there's a hollow tube going through the spiritual heart. With the inhale, we draw the breath in through the heart, out the back. And with the exhale, we draw the breath through the back, out the front. And as we keep breathing this way, the breath moves any stagnant energy out of the heart space. Anything that is stale, it moves the cobwebs of the heart. And the gentle flowing breath warms the embers of the heart. We'll keep breathing in this way for just another minute. We feel the heart open, become lighter and clearer. And we'll stay in this settled space while we hear about Cerridwen. And you can keep your eyes closed or open them, whatever feels best to you. But we are gathered tonight in the name of Cerridwen, a enchantress, a goddess of the Welsh Celtic tradition. She joins us at the center of our circle. Cerridwen is the keeper of Awen, of the cauldron of inspiration, of wisdom and knowledge and transformation. And we need that in these times. It is said that Cerridwen had 2 children, a son, a horrible ogre of a son, and a daughter who was beautiful and fair. Cerridwen had to do something to make this son a way in the world. And so she set out to brew him an elixir of wisdom. But it was very complicated. So it had to be stirred and cooked and herbs added according to astrological planetary placements and stirred continuously for a year and a day. But she had many things to do, so she enlisted help in the stirring of the elixir. And her help was Gwion Bach, a young man, innocent, willing, and he came to stir the cauldron of Cerridwen. And he did a wonderful job for her for a year. And on the last day, a bubble of that elixir burst and got on his hand. Now, the thing about this elixir, it was so magical. The first 3 drops would confer all the wisdom of the ages on the person who took those first 3 drops, but the rest was a deadly poison. And wouldn't you know, those first 3 drops were what landed on Gwianbach's skin. And he instinctively, without even thinking, just brought his hand right to his mouth and imbibed those magical 3 drops. And as the wisdom of all the ages came pouring into him, along with it came the realization that Cerridwen was going to kill him for this. And so off he went, running from her. And he changed forms multiple times, trying to outsmart her. He became a rabbit. She became a greyhound. He became a fish. She became a bear. Over and over, they transformed until finally he had to become still. And he became a kernel of grain in a heap of grain. There was no way she would find him. So she turned herself into a hen. And you know, hens can find the best grain, lickety split. So she gobbled him up. And she went home terribly sad that her ogre son would be a brute for eternity without any wisdom to save him. My chickens are having a fit too. And suddenly, within the next few weeks, she realized she was with child, and she knew that child was Gwianbach. So she vowed to kill him as soon as he was birthed from her. And the day came, she gave birth, and she took one look at him, and he was so beautiful that she couldn't kill him. So she sewed him in a leather bag and threw him in the sea, where he was found by Elfin, a prince. And he was reborn, and he was raised to become Taliesin, the great bard, one of the greatest bards and poets of all Celtic lore. So the story teaches us so much about the transformational nature of wisdom. It makes us die in so many ways. I mean, if you look back over your life, how many of you have there been? You know I've lived so many lifetimes in just this one already. And if we have too much inspiration, too much wisdom, that can drive us crazy, make us mad. So that's why there's just those 3 drops, and she's the steward of it. So we come together tonight honoring the season of life that we're in the changing times, asking for Cerridwen's inspiration. Enough of it to make us wise, not too much to make us crazy, and the wisdom to know when to stop and become grain and let her come and take us in and change us. So that is our centering story for tonight. Going along with the energy of Cerridwen and the cauldron of wisdom, we will use our anointing oil now, and we are going to anoint ourselves in 3 places. So I have this for us, but you all will have a little bottle of oil. It will be messy, so that's just the nature of anointing oil. This oil is sage and lavender and hyssop and frankincense. It was charged in the sun, and last night it was charged under that moon, and it was bottled for you today. So if you just want to put a little bit in your hand, just a really tiny bit, even if you just like put your hand on the top and flip it over and flip it back, that'll probably be the least messy for you. What, you didn't listen? Yeah, I didn't either. We have big piles of it. And those of you following along at home, make sure that you get your oil too if you have it, or any kind of essential oil, anointing oil. And we're going to take, we might get a little rain here.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're going to just take our finger in that oil. We're going to anoint the crown of our head. We're going to anoint our 3rd eye. And we're going to anoint our heart space, the place where the cauldron of wisdom lives inside of us. And any extra is a great moisturizer. We must be running for cover.
I know what's going on.
We're getting a little storm here. Okay.
So I am going to come around and I'm going to fill your cups. The cups you have before you are your own personal cauldron for tonight. And this is where we will take in the elixir, the tea that is speaking to the heart. It is blended with herbs that are specific for the heart. Let me get my notes real quick. So it is blended with green tea. I chose green tea because it is for courage, courage of the heart, courage to take on the things that maybe we couldn't a year ago, 5 years ago. I chose spearmint for healing and protection, plus it tastes very good. Then Ginkgo Biloba. Now this one's an interesting herb because ginkgo trees can live to be 1,000 years old. They're ancient and their longevity is amazing compared to most other trees. So we think of Ginkgo Biloba as the tree of life in many ways. It is an elder among trees. And with that eldership comes wisdom. And with the longevity comes everlastingness. And that is what I wish for your heart center, that it is just, it lives to be full, vivacious for a very long time. And of course, you know, wealth and prosperity is seated in that longevity. I also chose Ginkgo Biloba because it's great for the cardiovascular system. So there's a practical use, right? And then jasmine in this tea for self-love and the love for others and the love for our planet. And lavender for protection and purification. And just a hint of cayenne, just enough to light that heart center, to light those embers, to ignite that heart center and make it just expand beyond ourself and beyond who we are, to help you open it up and heal. I'm going to hand that back to you. I'm going to serve the tea.
For those of you at home, this is a good time to get your tea or any beverage that you're using to represent your own cauldron of wisdom and your elixir. Thank you.
As we set our intention with the tea, think of this as you sipping from your own personal cauldron. This is you ingesting, taking in the energy that is manifesting from the liquid in a cup. It's the infusion of healing and openness and peace and longevity. So with each sip, you're taking that into your body. And with each sip, you're manifesting what this represents. So we'll take our first sip and just be with it.
Here. Okay, so I'm going to do a guided meditation that you can use holding your crystal that you chose. Do a little rain dance in the process. It doesn't rain. Okay. Now I'd like you to anoint your crystal as well with the oil that Erin provided. And for those of you at home, you can anoint it with any of the oils that you have available, or you can choose not to. Do you have the music? Okay. All right. Now that you have anointed your crystal, I would like you to close your eyes and hold your crystal in your hand. And you can either hold it by your side, or if you're comfortable, hold it by your heart. As you close your eyes, take a deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Deep in breath in and exhale through your mouth. And one more time, in and exhale. Now as you hold your crystal in your hand, I want you to take notice. Is it smooth or rough? Does it have edges or is it rounded? Take some time to get to know your crystal. In this time, picture your crystal in your mind's eye. It may appear to you in different ways. You may see it as the crystal that you're holding. You may see it as light or a being. Allow the spirit, which is your crystal spirit, to guide you through the path to a cauldron. This is Cerridwen's cauldron. Imagine this cauldron is filled with black water. And as you're gazing into this water, I want you to allow any images, sayings, or even pictures to surface. Take a few moments here. Allow any messages that want to come through to you. As we take a few more minutes looking into the cauldron, allowing these messages to come through, I want you to Let them settle in your heart center. As the fog starts to settle over the cauldron, you can start to wiggle your toes, move your feet, your legs, wiggle your fingers and your arms, and open your eyes when you are ready.
I saw clear skies. So we're going to take a little time now and share anything that you'd like to share from your hearts, anything about your meditation experience, anything you might want to share about Cerridwen or your journey, whatever feels right to you. We have the Cauldron of Cerridwen here, a symbol of it. Can you show the people at home too? And we'll pass that to you, and you can hold that while you speak. So it's, just a symbol of speaking the wisdom of the cauldron or speaking over the cauldron. So if anyone would like to share, you can just make a little motion and we'll pass the cauldron your way. And then after the people here in Circle have shared, then the people online will have a chance to share as well.
I just want to take a minute and thank everybody for coming out, anybody who's attending online. Just saying thank you for all of you who could join us tonight. It's been a long journey, and I have always wanted to be part of a great group, and Leandra and Erin are great to start with. So thank you. Just send it around and see who else wants to grab it.
Elements are playing with us. Yeah. I just want to say, I think we are all part of a village. The image that I saw led too much. twisted and sometimes angry and often misunderstanding, evolving into something that's fragile and that's my friend. I'm not a baby. But no, yes, human kindness,
Big.
definitely in my heart has always been there. I can remember. But finally, I think,
There you go.
and so you learn. Just like delving into some divination.
Good.
Definitely a fun one.
Oh.
And I asked him, and
Gotcha.
kind of what I'm doing. Of course, that I have. That's like my water. Make my step go. I have to get back on the path. Don't feel connected. But looking forward to my red again. Not really knowing what to expect. During my meditation, one of the things that was clear for me is to remembering to trust that it happens. My best friend is so sweet. And I had the same kind of experience where no, trust me, you're not free of. So in my cauldron, I actually went and was completely submerged and was learning to let go and trust. And actually, when we first got to the cauldron, I heard a voice came out and said, "Why are you ignoring us?" And I was like, so yeah, so it was great.
That's good.
I open the floor for any he's not feel led to. So we are passing the cauldron to you, people in the Zoom room. If anybody wants to share, you can just unmute yourself and share with us. Okay. Alice, are you sharing?
Yes, I am. The stone person within the rhodonite appeared to me she was in a dress the same colors as the stones, and she held my hand and walked me to the cauldron, and I peered inside of it, and a dragonfly flew out of it and eventually landed at my heart. And then I saw Google, so tells me to look it up.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing, Alice.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Would anyone else like to share? Okay. Thank you for being with us. I'm going to pass this back to you. What a beautiful sky.
Looking a little treacherous, but it looks good. The little clouds, that's okay.
Let's hope your weird spot here.
Yeah, yes. No rain.
Yes.
So to end our time together, I'm going to do a quick tea leaf reading. And this is for us all to take back with us as we, go back into the real world after visiting Cerridwen and being present. Sure. Tea leaf reading is very, it's subjective because it is more intuitive than directional. So there's not a whole lot out there. I mean, you'll find charts that say, an apple means this, or an eagle means this, or an axe means that. But really what it's about is directly what you're sensing in the cup, or in the saucer too. We read the saucer too. what you're sensing from the energy that is coming into the little mini cauldron. So when we read, we're looking for symbols. We're looking for things that pop out at us. We're looking for numbers. We're looking for animals. We're looking for direction from the tea leaves. And when you start, and you saw me spin the cup a little bit, what I'm doing is I'm directing the energy. I'm conferring it, basically. And you start at your handle and you work your way down into the cup. So whatever is up at the top is what's coming immediately. What's down on the bottom is going, it could be 6 months, it could be 9 months, it could be a year. There's no real time frame, so to speak. So my cup is pretty empty. And to me, let everybody at home see it. They can see it. To me, what it's telling me is that there's going to be a clearing. There's going to be peace, but it's going to be a clearing. It's going to be a clean slate. And we have that opportunity to take it with us. And if you look at the saucer, everything came out on the saucer. I don't want to tip that all up tea everywhere, but everything came out into the saucer pretty much. There's very little left. And that tells me we are cleansing right now. We are working on cleansing out the muck, the things that don't serve us, and we're going to compost it, because that's exactly what I'm going to do with these leaves. I'm going to compost them. I'm going to turn them into something else, something beautiful. And you know, there's not really symbols, except one that is really coming out to me is a tadpole. And tadpoles are such transformation, transmutation, beyond transformation. This is transmutation right now. We have an opportunity to take ourselves from a baby fish and turn ourselves into something different, completely different, like a butterfly in a cocoon. You know, the butterfly has to literally liquefy itself. It's still alive, it's still there, but it's liquid. So it literally rearranges its entire body. Every molecule, every cell is rearranged to make something beautiful, something that can travel thousands of miles to do what it needs to do. And that's where we're at right now. So when we go away from the circle, we will continue to cleanse that. And that's not always an easy process. Sometimes it's a lonely process, but that's why we come together. That's why we're here together. So we don't have to be alone. We don't have to cleanse and purge and create something new and be something new without those around us. We can all just do this together. And that's what I'm leaving you with tonight, is this reading of transformation and cleaning out the old, making way for that new.
It's just starting to thunder, I think. So that wraps up our ritual for tonight. I do have a cauldron for earth offerings. So if you have any snack leftovers, cherry seeds or pits, the core of your apple, what's in here now is the plant material that's steeped for your anointing oil. So it will be an offering to the land. So anytime we do ritual here on this land, we give something back to the land as a thank you. So if you have any leftover food, you can put it in here. I'll put it on the table. The oil, the tea, the stone you got when you came in, they are yours to take home with you. We have bags if you need a little brown paper bag to take it comfortably to your car. We also have a little boutique set up over here for any shopping that you might want to do while you're here, if the weather holds. But we're just so grateful, and we're planning to do this every month. Our next gathering will be August 1st for Lamas. So it will be right around, the full moon is right around the time of that festival. So we'll have a special event planned for you then.
We're going to focus on pass the torch back. So the next time we come together, our focus will be endurance. And we will be focusing, Lunasad or Lamas is dedicated to the god Lu. I believe I say that right. But for him to be able to do what he did, to be who he was, he needed his mother. His mother cleared the field so that we could till the land and reap the harvest. So we're going to honor her, and she is the goddess of endurance. And so we hope that you guys will join us for that one as well. All right. Thank you guys very much.
The circle is open, but you're welcome to hang out, stay
Yes.
and hang out.
Yep, there's
So,
fruit and beverages. And thank you everyone online for joining us.
yes, thank you. I'm going to just check the chat and see if there's any questions before we wrap up on Zoom. So you can type your questions in or unmute yourself if you have something you'd like to share or a question for us. Cancer of the Lux nuts. He's like, will this satisfy your magnesium?